Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger with SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, June 8th through Sunday, June 14th, 2015. So last week we had a huge, intense full moon in Sagittarius, and that was some pretty, like I said, intense energies going on last week. And I'd like to say that I feel like it's going to, get a little bit easier, but in actuality, we have a lot of things going on astrologically this coming week that I feel are going to be just as intense. Now, before I get into what those astrological energies are, I just want to make mention that we are here and we're going through a lot of evolution and growth. And so, when we're going through what it appears to be challenging times or difficult times, this is our souls and our higher soul selves. This is the universe assisting us in making huge evolutionary leaps in our consciousness. This is us coming more into our authentic selves and stepping into our spiritual power. This is us, again, raising our vibrations and attuning to a higher consciousness energy. So there is a positive reason for all of these energies that we're going through. And I just wanted to kind of start out with letting you know that, so that you're not looking upon all of these kind of chaotic energies or sometimes challenging energies as just pure challenge. There is a positive reason behind this, and that is our spiritual growth and evolution. So now, as far as looking at the astrology of this week, we start off by with the moon in the sign of Pisces on Monday and Tuesday. So on the 8th and the 9th, the moon is in Pisces, and it is making a series of some challenging aspects during these 2 days. It comes into a challenged aspect with both Saturn and then Mercury, and Mercury is at its stationary point getting ready to turn back to direct motion. So it kind of heightens the energy of Mercury at this time. And the moon will then go on to connect with Neptune in Pisces, which is very spiritual and is going to be very good for artistic, pursuits or creative pursuits, as well as spiritual connections through meditation. And then it goes on to connect challengingly with the Sun and Mars in Gemini. So again, moon in Pisces, square to Saturn, square to Mercury, conjunction to Neptune, square to the Sun, and square to Mars, all within 2 days. So yes, this does seem to be some challenging energies here. We're gearing up to move into times later this week where there's going to be some redirection of energies. So I just feel like there's a lot of confusion here. There might be even some emotional heaviness going on during this time, some ungrounded, chaotic energies going on at that time as well. So, please do whatever you can to center and ground through grounding yourself out in nature, standing on the earth barefoot, taking a walk in nature, doing some meditation, yoga, tai chi, something to really help to center yourself and ground yourself. As we move towards Thursday the 11th, Mercury is stationary at 4 degrees Gemini and will turn to direct motion. Now, right before it turns to direct motion, the moon has moved into Aries by this time and is in a challenging aspect to Pluto, which is that planet of power and transformation, and then it comes into a conjunction with Uranus, kind of setting off that ever-widening Pluto-Uranus square that we had a couple of months ago. And, moon connecting with Uranus can just about bring anything, because Uranus brings surprises, and it brings the unexpected, and it brings a redirection of energy. So, in other words, I would be prepared for some huge transformation and growth, some possible redirections of your energy. The moon is in Aries, which is more of a trigger for the emotions, so it can be emotionally reactive. So just kind of, again, bring yourself into a state of peace and calm and centeredness as we're going through that time period. Again, later on Thursday, Mercury turns to direct motion in Gemini. Now it's going to take a little while to speed up. It's going to take a little while before things kind of even out with the Mercury retrograde energies that we have been experiencing over the last 3 to 4 weeks. I find it interesting that the very next day on Friday, Neptune, planet of spirituality and planet also of confusion and illusion and fantasy, is turning to retrograde motion. And that happens at 9 degrees Pisces. Now, with this, to me, being of importance, we have Thursday, Mercury turning direct in Gemini, Friday, Neptune turning retrograde in Pisces, and these two planets are within orb of each other in a square aspect, which is a challenging aspect. Now, Mercury, especially in Gemini, rules the logical mind, facts and logic. Neptune in Pisces is the opposite. It rules our spiritual connectedness. It rules realms of other dimensions, spirit, God, universe, our angels and guides. This is, us being in kind of that meditative mode, being open to receiving answers, from energies or dimensions that are unseen. So here we have logic and spiritualness or spirituality kind of at odds with each other in this challenging aspect as each planet is turning in a different direction. So again, this is going to heighten that energy, and the best thing that you can do here is to utilize this in a way of, again, meditation or creative writing or getting in touch with music and listening to music. Anything that you can do to kind of heighten that spiritualness and to release kind of the logical mind is going to be helpful. As we move forward to Sunday the 14th, we start out with the Sun in Gemini coming into a connection with Mars in Gemini. So again, Gemini is mutable air, mutable meaning it's changeable. So the energies are all over the place and ungrounded, and there might be a lot going on and a lot happening, and you might be moving in a lot of different directions all at the same time, which isn't necessarily a negative thing by itself. Also on Sunday, though, we have Saturn, which is the planet that rules karma and karmic energies, and it rules third dimensional energies, the energies that we live in here on this planet. It has been retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, which it newly entered at the end of last year, 2014. It's now today, Sunday the 14th, retrograding back into the sign of Scorpio. So remember, all of 2014, most of 2014, Saturn was in Scorpio. Saturn brings up our karmic lessons, our karmic tests. It shows us what we need to kind of purge or release or let go of as far as past life belief systems or energies that we no longer need to hang on to. And it's going back into Scorpio, which is a very deep subconscious sign where we do have subconscious patterns that are rooted. The sign of Scorpio deals with issues of power and control, death and rebirth, the occult, metaphysical subject matter, the deep subconscious. And it can rule also things of secrets and things that are hidden, things that are of sometimes a lower negative vibration if we don't raise that to, the higher vibration of transformation and transmutation. So with Saturn going back into Scorpio, it's going to be retrograding through Scorpio until August 2nd. It'll turn direct in Scorpio August 2nd and will continue then forward before it moves back into Sagittarius on September 17th. So basically from Sunday the 14th of June through September 17th, Saturn will be in Scorpio once again like it was last year, giving us another opportunity to again clear a little bit more, clear more layers of the subconscious, clear more layers of karmic energies of disempowerment, to where we can fully step into our power and own our power and really move forward in living an authentic life, doing what we truly are passionate about and what we're really here on this planet to do. So again, it may be challenging as we're going through this, but there is a positive reason for going through this. Okay, so we're going to be using for this week's weekly reading Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck. The special message card this week is going to be coming from Doreen Virtue's Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. Your stones of choice. I actually purchased 3 new stones about a week or so ago, and we're going to use these 3 stones for this reading. And the first stone here as a stone of choice is called let me try that again. Chalcopyrite, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is a stone that I've never had before. The chalcopyrite is a stone that's good for meditation. It's good for increasing perceptive abilities. It's good for breaking up energy blockages and helping to open up and cleanse the crown chakra so that you're being more open and aware to higher guidance. It's also called peacock ore, and that's because it's got these wonderful, beautiful colors like a peacock. I don't know that you can see it in this video, but little blues and greens, kind of little flecks of different colors that look like peacock colors. Your second stone of choice is howlite. And howlite can come in different colors. This is white with some gray in it. And howlite is a calming stone. It helps with insomnia. It helps with patience. It helps with eliminating anger and negative emotions. And it also links us to spiritual dimensions, past lives, the in-between state of lives, and also assists us with astral traveling. And then your last stone of choice is called Nuummite. It's Nuummite. It's called the Sorcerer's Stone, and it's got magical earth energy with it, a very potent vibration. It helps you to attune with deep earth energy, which kind of like the fairy realm, where the magical abilities of the fairy realm lie. It's considered a very ancient stone and has some strong metaphysical properties to it. So again, your stones of choice for your special message card: chalcopyrite, howlite, and Nuummite. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to draw 3 cards for this weekly reading for a message. We're going to call in our angels, guides, master guides, healers and teachers of the highest vibration of light, all the archangels and ascended masters, to bring us whatever message, wisdom, and knowledge is in our highest and best interest to know for this particular week. And actually this one's sticking out. I think I'm going to choose that as a 4th card as well. So we'll put that right there. And we will go ahead and see what guidance we have. We start out with the Ace of Water. And it says, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, and a new home. Now, this is a card of the emotional realm. It's water, so it deals with the emotions and the feelings, and the aces always deal with a new beginning. And I feel like what this card is about for this week is that this is a new beginning or an opening of our emotional bodies, okay? Remember how I said this week we have Mercury going direct on Thursday, Neptune turning retrograde on Friday, and they're within that orb of a challenging square with one another, which to me is going to heighten our psychic senses and abilities, but at the same time, that opening can be so intense and so huge that it may throw us off our center. We may be really confused. So, you know, I feel like there's potential here with maybe being overly emotional as this energy occurs. But if we meditate and we ground our energies, this opening is going to be quite beneficial for us in opening us up again to other spiritual dimensions, our psychic abilities, and our higher soul self, messages from our angels and guides. It's really going to open us up. They're also saying right now, too, that it's going to make us more empathic. So this week, look for being more empathic with your emotions and feelings, that you'll be really connecting with other people and what they're going through, and that their emotions and feelings, you are strongly going to feel them, and this is going to affect you as well. But let's take a look at what the next card is to get more information. Okay, so now we have the Knight of Earth. And the Knight of Earth says loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. It says, time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. And it also says a guardian angel. So right off the bat, they're telling me that we're going to have strong protection this week. Our angels and guides are really coming forward, especially if you call on them. So call on them often, every day. I feel like because of all the transitioning energies that are happening and Saturn moving back into Scorpio, that they're realizing that this energy, all these energy changes, is really going to maybe throw a lot of people off their center and out of balance. So they're really coming in as much as they can this week to kind of help to ground our energies, to bring some stability and security into our lives and into our beingness. A lot of times the court cards either indicate qualities within another person that you may encounter or qualities within yourself. I'm feeling more that this is going to be qualities within ourselves that we're trying to kind of hone in on. Again, this sense of security and practicality and groundedness and direction. And they're also saying that, again, this is going to be a time period where we're needing to start to focus. Especially they're saying with Mercury turning to direct motion around the middle of the week, we're needing to focus and ground our energies to be able to at least to think about start moving forward, take some practical steps forward. What choices or decisions do we need to make on a practical, logical level that's going to help us ground our energies and move forward with our direction, with our paths, with our career matters, money matters. And this can even be with relationship matters, even though this is an Earth card, which deals more with the practical side of life. We did start out with the Ace of Water, which does deal with relationships and the emotional side of life. And then the last card for the week is the Seven of Water. So this isn't surprising that we have another water card. And this says a complex decision, the need to do some research, and stop procrastinating. So again, right away they're saying Mercury retrograde is over. A time of thinking and reevaluating is coming to a close, and it's going to be time to start making some decisions. Now, you don't necessarily have to make the decision this week, but it's coming to a time, because Mercury is direct, that you will want to start kind of trying to organize your thoughts and emotions and figure out what is the best decision for you as far as moving forward. And it may be a challenging decision. The Seven of Cups is usually about having many different options. There's 7 cups here. Some seem to have more of a blessing within them than other cards, but because there's so many cards with so many things here, or so many cups with so many opportunities or different directions that could be gone with, or different decisions that could be made, this is what makes it emotionally confusing. So in other words, the Seven of Water can bring emotional confusion and not really knowing what way is the right way or what decision is the right decision. Now, the 7 is going to indicate going within. Again, the need for meditation, the need for grounding, connecting with your higher soul self, connecting with higher guidance, going within yourself to figure out what's the best option for you. Just like it says, do some research. You might actually have to do some research, or this research could just simply be contemplation and meditation on the different opportunities and options that you have to figure out which one is the best for you. Let's look at that 4th card that I also chose from the deck. Okay, this is the 9 of Earth, so now we have another Earth card. And it says, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. Now, first I feel that this message, or this card's message, is about, again, spending time alone. I really feel like as much as there's energy changes going on this week with the different planetary redirections going on, and with Saturn moving back into Scorpio, that as much time as you can spend in quiet time and alone time is going to be beneficial for you. I really feel like getting out into nature is going to be beneficial for you and grounding for you, as we have this fairy here and she's enjoying her quiet time out in nature. There's flowers here, there's mountains in the background, She's walking through the green grass. So I'm really feeling like nature is going to be very helpful for all of us this particular week. The other message with this card that the angels and guides are bringing through is that if you have been contemplating a new direction with self-employment, or if you're contemplating a decision that needs to be made in regards to your own business that maybe you already have, this is a good time to kind of gather those thoughts and make those decisions and move forward. Again, now that Mercury has gone direct, we can move forward, especially with the Sun coming together with Mars on Sunday. I feel like that is going to bring us a lot of ideas and a lot of ability to move forward with ideas. It's just going to be, again, that the energy still may be a little scattered, so the more you can ground and center yourselves, the better it's going to be able to focus your energies and take that next step that's going to be in alignment with your highest truth this week. Okay, so let's take a look at what your special message card is, depending on your stone of choice. Well, this one fell out of the deck right away, so I'm going to pick up, actually two fell out of the deck. The first one is for the people that chose the chalcopyrite. So for those of you that chose chalcopyrite, we have Sedna with infinite abundance, or infinite supply. Okay, I guess I almost said infinite abundance, and so I'm thinking that that must be a message for you. With the infinite supply with Sedna. It says, you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. So this message is saying that there's no need to worry. Everything that you need as far as financial assistance, emotional assistance and support, ideas, that may need to come to you, or support for your business, or support in home and family, whatever it is that you need support with, Sedna is saying that that energy is there for you. There's no need to worry here. I feel like getting near water and doing some meditation, again, nature and water seems to be a theme here. And it's funny because we have two earth cards this week and two water cards. And so, again, we have a whale in the background here in the water. Sedna is covered with beautiful foliage and flowers and green of the earth. So not surprising that we have earth and water cards, and I feel like, again, getting out in nature and grounding and centering on or near water is going to be very beneficial for you. And water, they're saying, magnifies energies, and being out near water is going to magnify your intentions, looking for that sign that you're looking for as far as the next step to take. And it's going to amplify abundance and prosperity energies for you as you put out your intentions for abundance and prosperity. Again, whether that abundance and prosperity is in the form of financial support, or emotional support, or physical support in some way, basically there's no need to worry, because that is definitely there for you as you move forward. Now, for those of you that chose the Howlite, the next card, actually, this is the second card that fell out of the deck, Ishtar with boundaries. And Ishtar says, love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. Now, Ishtar isn't necessarily saying that you can't help others or that you're not supposed to be there for others, but if you're already in a low energy state, or you're being pushed to your limit mentally or emotionally, you're not going to be of any help to anybody else until you take care of yourself. So Ishtar's message to you is to set some boundaries. Set boundaries, and if you're feeling overstretched or overburdened, then you might just need to say, no, I can't do that at this time. Maybe I can do that for you later, but right now, I need to take care of myself. And that's okay. Because again, if you don't take care of yourself, when you're in a chaotic and ungrounded state, you're not going to really be of any help to anybody else anyway. So set boundaries for yourself this week with the energies that's going on. And again, do some self-nurturing and self-centering. Take care of what you need to take care of. And then for those of you that chose the Numite, we're going to give these a shuffle, and this one on my fingertip on the bottom is calling me. This is Divine Passion with Pele. I love Pele. She's the volcano goddess. This says, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? This, I feel right away, is moving back to the fact that Saturn's moving back into Scorpio at the end of the week. And again, Saturn in Scorpio although it can be challenging, is really testing us to move into our passion and to do what we are passionate about. Move into our authentic truth. Claim our divine power. As you see, Pele is standing here in front of a volcano, and the volcano is erupting, which is that passionate, creative energy. So here they're saying focus on your sacral chakra energy and your solar plexus chakra energy. Those are the energy centers that deals with your creative self-expression and your willpower, your force of will, and owning your power. And again, step into your divine passion. Move into and towards, whether this be career related or relationship related, what you're truly passionate about. If you're in a relationship that passion isn't there, or it's not passionately fulfilling to you, then maybe it's not right for you, and maybe it's time to let that go and move on. You have to find that passion. If you're in a space with your career or your life path, if you're doing a job that you're not passionate about, maybe it's time to look at what is going to fulfill you. And again, step into the authenticity of who you really are and what you're really here to do and to emanate as far as your soul's energy. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Just a reminder, the monthly angel card reading for June is also up. You'll want to look at that if you haven't done so already. Go on to angelmessenger.net and read the monthly angelic astrology article. Check out my website, sacredsoulempowerment.com. If you feel like you need a personal reading or healing session, I would love to be able to help you with that. So I want to send a lot of love and light and gratitude to all of you that has been supportive and sharing and liking my videos, assisting in any way through contributions. I want to say a quick thank you to Cats Inc. I don't know who Cats Inc. is, but I've tried to send you a couple of emails thanking you for the donation through my website, and the emails have come back to me. So I wanted to briefly say thank you to Cats Inc. for the donation that you sent. And until next week, again, I send you all many, many blessings of love and light. Take care, everyone.